A group of friends on holiday steal a pair of jet skis for fun and race them out to sea, ending up in a head-on collision. Just then, a great white shark approaches. Natalie and her best friend Millie are having a blast on holiday in Mexico. Her boyfriend Tom and his two friends, Greg and Tyler, are sitting around the campfire enjoying the spectacle. The girls drag them out to dance. It's a great night of partying. When they run out of alcohol, quiet Nat is sent to the bar. There she gives alms to a homeless man. He has no legs and explains something in Spanish about a great white shark. The approaching friends mock the homeless man, but he manages to warn the girl, "Watch out." At dawn, the boys are in no hurry to go to their rooms because it's their last day. They have to catch a plane back to Kansas in the evening. Now they need to enjoy the moment. And then Greg spots 2 jet skis on the pier, but the rental place is still closed. So they break the door down with a shovel. Next, they steal the keys and get on the jet skis. But Natalie thinks it's against the law and dangerous. But her friends persuade her. A few laps and we'll go for churros. It's a convincing argument. The only things left on the shore are the trainers and the mobile phones. The 5 friends head out to sea. Only Millie took her phone with her to take cool pictures. The boys jump into the waves and race against the clock. Natalie worries they've swum too far, but the boys are unstoppable. They race towards each other to see who will be the last to turn. Everyone loses when one jet ski crashes into another. The friends find themselves in the middle of the ocean, but Greg is the unlucky one. He has an open fracture, Tyler has a head injury, and Millie simply can't swim. This could be the end of the film, but the friends help each other out and gather around the jet ski. Dean's leg is in bad shape, and the girls bandage it with a handkerchief. They can't call for help. There's no communication. Meanwhile, the wave sweeps flip-flops, phones, and bottles off the pier, all reminders of the tourists. They need to get Greg to hospital, but there are only 3 seats on the jet ski. The second jet ski looks more like the Titanic, but Millie and Tyler will hang on to it and wait for help. Tom starts the engine, but nothing comes out. It smells like petrol. The jet ski is damaged. Tom has to check the engine under the seat. He moves Greg, but injures his leg even more. In vain. Tom is a history student and knows nothing about engines. Natalie tries to signal with a mirror, but the shore is too far away. The strong current carries the friends further and further from the shore, but the real storm comes when Nat finds pictures of her boyfriend with Millie. Tom tries to take the evidence but drops the phone in the water. It's their last hope. The guy dives to the bottom of the ocean to retrieve it. The phone lies among the rocks, but that's not the only find. A great white shark is swimming behind him. Suddenly, someone pulls Millie underwater. It was only Tom. He's got the phone. Millie apologizes to her friend. Tom lied to both of them, and maybe there are other girls. Tyler remembers that they passed a yacht and decides to swim towards it, but a fin appears just behind him. It's a shark. Millie tries to warn Tyler, but he can't hear that. The shark dives and reappears next to the rest of the group. In a panic, Tom jumps on the jet ski, but all he does is flip everyone into the water. Dinner is served. Millie starts to drown and Tom helps her swim to the jet ski. Nat can't hold on to Greg and calls for help. But the shark has already found a source of blood. It grabs Greg's leg. Natalie's hair gets caught in his watch. The giant shark carries the couple in a circle and then drags Greg to the bottom. Only at the last moment does the girl manage to free herself. Now the love triangle is complete. Nat discovers that her boyfriend has had 2 other girlfriends, not counting Millie. The girl is on good terms with his parents and they won't like it. Meanwhile, Tyler sees a yacht on the horizon and slowly approaches it. The captain is listening to music and doesn't hear Tyler's shouts, but the great white shark hears everything and emerges from the depths. Tyler is frightened and tries to move away, but the shark's attack is too quick. He is damaged, but not destroyed. He cries out for help with all his might, but when the captain comes on deck, there's no one in the water. The girls have already spent half a day in the blazing sun and realize that Tyler has not made it. Desperate, Millie tries to drink some seawater, but Natalie stops her. It will only make her more dehydrated. As the sun sets, the tourists realize they've missed their plane. Maybe the airline will notice they're missing. At night, the survivors shiver in the cold. Then they notice a boat light in the darkness, very close by. Shouting doesn't help, so Nat encourages Tom to swim towards it. How afraid he is of the dark water. Without making too much noise, he swims away from the jet ski, but has a panic attack and turns back. Nat can only hope for herself now. She cautiously descends and hurries towards the light. At close range, it turns out to be a lifebelt beacon, and inside it is a disfigured body. The girl screams in horror and raises a ruckus. Tom rushes into the water and helps her back to safety. At dawn, the friends see the wreckage of the boat and the unfortunate fisherman. It must have been a shark that capsized the boat. It hunts people. It's time to get out or face the same fate. The friends pull a plank out of the water and use it instead of an oar. They paddle to the wreck and get a life jacket and some more planks. Now they can row to shore. The girls argue about which way to go, and then a hungry shark comes out of the water. Tom hits it on the nose with a plank. This only seems to make the shark angry, and soon it attacks again. The shark bites through the board and Tom's leg as well, and Nat has hit the monster in the eye with a sharp splinter. It won't dare come back now, will it? It's a chance to check the engine again, and the girls open the seat, but the engine is hidden under a cover. At that moment, the shark had returned and was circling the tourists. With a powerful blow, the monster flips the jet ski over. The next attack throws Tom into the air. Nat manages to get out and pulls her wounded friend onto the jet ski. Only Millie remains in the water. The girl is about to climb aboard when the shark swallows her. With a crunch, the monster bites off half the bait. All Nat has to do is let go of her friend, or rather half of her. She is left alone with her ex, who is unconscious. Will Nat be able to make it on her own? The girl opens the engine compartment again and tries to tear off the engine cover. She manages to rip off a sharp splinter, and then she takes the whole cover off. Apparently it's all down to a broken hose. Nat has a plan. To fix it, she needs to get Millie's life jacket. The girl takes an improvised knife and dives into the water. She grabs the life jacket, but the shark is already on her back. Tom warns the girl, but the shark goes for the smell of blood and rams the jet ski. The beast turns around and sees easier prey in the water, but Nat pulls out a knife and stabs the sea monster. Is this a victory? The girl returns to the jet ski, but the shark has managed to injure her. Using his last ounce of strength, Nat repairs the broken hose. She must hurry. Tom won't last much longer. The girl starts the engine and it works. The jet ski is moving again. The girl takes over the controls. Land in sight. But the shark isn't about to let the culprits go so easily. It accelerates and rams the jet ski. On the second pass, it takes a bite out of the rear deck. The speed drops and the watercraft begins to sink. Tom asks Nat to tell his parents that he's a really reliable guy, and jumps into the water. Nat tries to save him, but it's too late. The shark has taken him to the bottom. The girl takes her chance and swims to an abandoned cove, but the place is full of pitfalls. The jet ski crashes, throwing Nat into the water. The shark is on her tail all the time. The girl swims towards the shore, but the shark is faster. At the last moment, its jaws close on a tasty and juicy rock. Taste this, shark. Nat has made her way to a paradise beach. She feels solid ground under her feet, and the shark must still be there. That's the end of the film, but here are a few more you might enjoy.